this entertainer in a very long time. This entertainer travels the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the one and the only Kelvis! Give it up for Kelvis!
Man, you guys sound good to me. You sound real good, sweet inspiration, man. How you doing? Where'd Kenny go? Hey, man. Where's Johnny Katz? Where's Johnny Katz? I can't see you, baby. There you are, man. You don't remember me, do you? We went to high school together. We got a lot in common, man. We got history. There you go, baby. Idaho. That didn't come out right. Idaho. Beautiful. And rock and roll, man, rock and roll, baby. Anyway, I know you guys maybe not know me, but I went to school at Potato High with Johnny. Yeah. And before I met him, you know, people kind of made fun. You guys okay? Be careful now. People seem to fall down when I'm around. Anyway, Johnny and I went to school together. I don't know what it was, we had a connection right away because I know that, you know, the way I look, people always wondered, you know, they say, what, they call me names like Twitch and Wiggles, you know what I mean? You know, and all the name calling, but I found out, because I always felt different, you know, and there's nothing wrong with different if everybody's worried about being different. There ain't nothing wrong with being different. But I found out that the reason I was so different from the Goldsteins, my parents, that's right, baby. Anyway, I came across some favors. It's a long story for those of you who've been to my show, but I'll shorten it up for you. You got an elephant suit on right here? Oh no, it's just sparkling. Yeah, this is my aunt. I'm sorry, it might be my uncle. I don't know about that. Anyway, guys, where was I? I found out that I was adopted. That's the short version of the story, man. I went to what's it called, Ancestry.com, and they got all up in my family tree. I'm dragging it out already, sorry, Johnny. Pardon me. Anyway, I found out I was adopted, and I found out that I had some gastrointestinal things. When they opened up the records, man, the records were sealed, and then they weren't sealed. And now they're not sealed anymore, but the point is, I found out that my parents were movie stars. They had an affair, a love affair. They were doing a movie right here in this town. And it was called Viva Las Vegas. They had an affair and they had to hide me. So my mom and dad is Ann Margaret and Elvis Presley, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so I had some bullying to do, but then I saw this young student. He was a sophomore and I was a senior. And his name was Johnny Katz or something, and nobody could say it. What are those olives that taste real good in an Italian salad? Calamari. John Catsalamoto. Anyway, nobody could say his name, so they made fun of him, right, Johnny? You remember that? And I saw him. He was like a little pinball in a pinball machine, getting beat up every day. Boom, boom, boom. He had those, you know, first of all, he was bumping into stuff, you know, and I realized his glasses had been broken, and every day it was either a piece of scotch tape or some duct tape keeping it together, you know, and I felt sorry for him. So, man, I put myself to sleep with this story, but I gotta catch you all up, you know what I'm saying? So, Johnny, remember I told you that was our high school theme song. Anyway, we were in Potato High together, and I said to him, listen, man, first of all, let's cut the names short. Let's call you Katz. That's right, I was responsible for that, man. My boy. Johnny boy. I said, listen, Johnny, we we got to do something about the way you're carrying yourself. He was really kind of string bean. He worked for the school paper, you know what I mean? And they kind of call him Clark Kent. Sometimes they call him Merkel, baby. And I said to him, you got your pants up too high. It looks like you're in the middle of a flood, baby. That ain't cool. The ladies don't like it. Anyway, right, Steph? Anyway, now it's kind of cool to wear your pants high. But back to the story, baby. Back to the story. I said, first of all, you got to lose the mullet, baby. And we cut that shit right off. I've never said shit on stage before. Get to the song before the show's over, but anyway, so I took him under my wing and I took him shopping. Believe it or not, he had never been to Macy's before. That's right, and TJ Maxx, and I showed him all the cool stuff. I said, you gotta get yourself a checkered suit, man. You gotta get it checkered all up and down, and you gotta get your pants down to the shoes, you know. And he wore those things. What does that chef wear? Those orange things with the holes in them. What are those called? Crocs. I said, lose the Crocs, baby. The mullet and the Crocs gotta go. Anyway, so we started hanging around all the time. We became good friends. He became a snappy dresser like myself, man. You know, we'd go shopping. But then after a while, I noticed, man, we had a falling out, see, because I started noticing that he didn't have any ideas of his own, man. If I got a checkered jacket, he got a checkered jacket. If I wore a hat, he wore a hat. If I stopped wearing a hat, he stopped wearing a hat, man. It was just kind of annoying. It started getting on my nerves. It was like I lost my own identity. It was like I had a blueprint for my life. So I started backing off a little bit of the friendship. What time is it? Anyway, baby, I want to get to the end of the story now. So I started, maybe I won't tell him when I find these really cool new kicks, you know. And so I ordered them, I kept it a secret, but I don't know if he had a camera or something like a webcam in my house, because I came to school the next day with my new kicks. And Johnny had the same shoes on, man. I was like, man, that ain't cool. And I told him, man, you shouldn't be wearing them shoes. And he said, well, I had the idea before you. And then he just kind of kicked my shoe and scuffed it. And that's when it was over, man. I said, you done fucked up now, Johnny. And that's when I told him, give me a key. Well, there's one for the money, two for the show. Get ready now, go dance, go and don't you slow on my blues, let's do it. Well, you do everything, my blues, let's do it. Put it down, slap on my face, stand on my ring, all over the place. Do anything you wanna do, say, oh, don't you stay on my blues. Give me some guitar, James. My house, my car, my living room, job. That thing that you wanna do, honey, live on the street, well, that's not for the money, for the show. Get ready now, go. I said, don't stop.